We've been looking at the case from 1965. You were related to Danon, right?
Yes, she was a second cousin. A few of the family members have searched our minds, and none of us came up with any plausible reason that we could see where she would take her life, because I don't think she died by her own hand.
It was just going to be too hard to solve, and it was just easier just to say, somebody took their own life, close the book, we'll move on to the next thing. And I think that did happen.
This is an update to the 7th season of Catalyst, an investigative podcast from KXAN. I'm your host, Josh Hinkle. It's been 7 months since we first told you about the 60-year-old mystery surrounding a teenager's death in Marble Falls, Texas.
I hereby certify that I held an inquest over the remains of Lanice Danon Lewis and found that death was due to strangulation, accidental. This was signed by C.B. Wall, the Justice of the Peace.
A Justice of the Peace is an elected position. So with any elected position, there's always the question about politics.
You know, now you look back on it and you think politics does play a role in everything. You know, they're all trying to look as good and not have a bunch of unsolved cases laying around. And if they're going to get reelected.
Questions linger over the lack of forensic and medical expertise for justices of the peace, elected officials with a lot of duties in the courtroom, on top of death inquests in most Texas counties, part of a 200-year-old system some say is outdated.
The model historically of the local JPs, I think satisfied the need historically of the folks in the community for many, many years.
Should JPs still be investigating deaths in Texas, or is it time to figure out a different system at this point?
I mean, I feel comfortable with what I do. I'm not saying that there isn't something better.
State lawmakers wondered that too. And after our questions began looking closer at who's making decisions over murders, suicides, and other unexplained or unattended deaths, a proposal with a potential cost concern, and a political roadblock that might be impassable for now.
We want to continue to be the place where we minimize the tax burden on our people across the board. So we've got to be intelligent about how we do that, if that makes sense.
Have all members voted? Have all members voted?
After 2 centuries under the same system, the possibility of change all came down to mere minutes on the House floor, one fast-paced evening in May.
Senator presented by Senator Schwartz grants law enforcement officers discretion to tow vehicles. Move passage.
Question occurs on passage third reading. Record vote. Click on the bell. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? 82 ayes, 60 nays, passed third reading.
Rushed words, a backlogged bill calendar, and tension building before midnight.
Mr. Landgraf.
Better Sapsers, move passage.
Record vote, click on the bell.
As the end of a long legislative session loomed, lawmakers pushed what policies they could to the last step, amid protest and points of order.
On behalf of the
Mr.
great
Speaker.
and the record-breaking Senator
Mr. Speaker.
Zaffirini, I move passage of Senate Bill 66.
Gentlemen, yield.
No. Move passage on behalf of Senator Zaffirini.
Any pause meant some bills would die, and dozens did.
101 ayes, 29 nays, passes. Mr. Howard.
Move passage.
Question occurs. Record vote, click on the bell.
And in a final moment, perhaps fitting for this topic,
Chair lays out second reading, 618.
Mr. Speaker. Number 618 by Sparks.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
I love it.
Mr.
Mr.
Dutton,
Speaker.
for what purpose?
I have a message from the legislative Grim Reaper.
Admit the Grim Reaper.
death prevailed,
As I raise a point of order against
delivering a deadline for Senate Bill 1370.
in that the time for consideration of Senate bills on second reading on the supplemental daily House calendar has done expired.
Mr. Dutton, your point of order is well taken and sustained.
SB 1370 would have modernized the state's death investigation system, expanding the use of medical examiners and paving the way for more counties to tap their expertise sooner.
So it's always a balance between protecting the needs of the taxpayer while at the same time doing the right thing by our people.
Senator Tan Parker filed the bill after our reporting revealed all but 14 of Texas's 254 counties don't have medical examiners, instead relying on JPs to conduct inquests, a responsibility unlike anywhere else in the U.S.
The chair will call Chairman Anchia back to close on this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Despite the bill's outcome, its exposure brought awareness that could bring it up again next session, and its House sponsor, Representative Rafael Anchia, vowed to soon study how Texas can attract more physicians to take on these roles.
I think that we should have an interim charge to look at this issue, to bring more medical examiners to the state. We just need more people who are specialized in this work, and creating an incentive program makes total sense.
And that's something you would take on?
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want to say?
That's it. Thanks.
Our year-and-a-half investigation also led to a soon-to-be-established medical examiner office in one of the state's fastest-growing areas, Williamson County, on the north end of the capital city.
This is the funeral notice.
And a major development in that decades-old mystery, the next county over.
A tragic and unsolved murder listed as a suicide. No one really ever believed that it was a suicide.
Loved ones still think about 13-year-old Danon Lewis and the way a JP in 1965 said she died. An accidental hanging with a jump rope in a shed behind her family's home. For them, the bill was something that helped honor her memory.
From my part of the family, we appreciate your efforts and what you have uncovered and what you have done. That's awesome. Thank you.
What we uncovered also led to a change on Danon's death certificate, made after we brought the story and concerns surrounding the system to the JP who held the same seat today.
If we sent you this death certificate and all of the other research that we've been able to pull together, would you take a look at it?
Oh, I certainly would. I would be glad to. I could certainly do that.
Now listed as could not be determined instead of accident, it means Danon didn't do this to herself, and serves as a stark reminder of what can happen when the system goes unchecked. Something we'll continue following as lawmakers look to the future. Catalyst is reported and produced by me, Josh Hinkle, along with David Barrere, Arzo Dost, and Dalton Huey. Our editor is Richie Bose. Digital support comes from Jacqueline Ramkasoon, Robert Sims, and Kate Winkle. KXAN's news director is Haley Syhawk, and its vice president and general manager is Eric Glassberg.